there, everyone. Welcome to Weekly Weather Brief. You're listening into your 10-minute or less podcast where myself and my co-host, Emily Gracey, former broadcast meteorologists, recap what happened in the weather, at least that caught our attention. Hey, Emily, how you doing this week?
Hey, Kerrin, I'm pretty good, trying to stay cool just like every week, but it is officially July, so not getting any cooler anytime soon.
No, yeah, happy July, happy core of summer. I think this is probably my favorite time of year, despite the heat. I love summer so much, and fall. What's your favorite season?
Not summer, but we live in different parts of the country.
Yep.
I like no extremes. I would say spring and fall are probably my favorite. I think spring is taking the lead though, because it's promise of, fun times to come, whereas fall kind of makes me think about like the holidays and the stress of that and then going into winter. So yeah, I'm a spring gal.
Got it. New Englander here, so I think I've got to love fall, but you're right, it does kind of lead to the inevitable, oh gosh, winter's coming, and holidays. Yeah. So I'm going to give a hands down to summer, personally. And this week, we saw a whole lot of summer-like things. Saw a lot of stuff about, crazy thunderstorms, some intense rainfall, lightning, hail, all the good stuff. Of course, the heat, so we're going to talk about that. But I wanted to lead us off with something that happened much earlier in the week in South Dakota. We're going to give South Dakota a shout out, which might be the first time on this show. I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So, hey, South Dakota, give us a shout if you're listening. I saw, though, that this week there was a thunderstorm that produced an incredible wind gust, like super powerful wind gust of 131 miles per hour. Can you even fathom what that feels like?
No, but I kind of can. The pictures that came out of this, the wind turbine damage, those definitely kind of show you what that feels like or what that might be like. That's crazy. And the interesting part about this for me, I thought, was like, what was it? Was it just a thunderstorm? I mean, I saw the National Weather Service classified it as a mini derecho.
Mini.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's technical size. When you're talking about derecho, it's like a widespread damaging line of wind gusts, but it does have a technical size. So yeah, I saw that too. A mini derecho, which I didn't actually know was a term.
They might have made that up, Kerrin. I haven't heard that one before. But yeah, it would have to meet the width criteria of 100 kilometers, which it didn't. But it was on the ground for a while. It traveled over 350 miles. So widespread damage there.
And not only one place with that kind of wind gust, they said there are two observations that reported a wind gust at 131 miles per hour. And of course, they're still doing like damage surveys and stuff when something like that happens. I think they go and they take a peek at things, make sure everything's legit. And according, again, to the Storm Prediction Center, that said, if that wind gust does verify, it would be ranked as the 15th strongest thunderstorm wind gust recorded in the United States, which is very interesting.
Oh, wow. Jeez. Yeah. It's interesting, too, that it happened in the morning, right?
Really early morning. Yeah, the storm, I think, was ongoing from the night before and then just blasted through overnight. So that was of note.
For sure. What else was of note this week?
Well, I know you love the tropics. We've got the newest tropical storm in the Pacific, Douglas.
Yeah, I always forget about the Pacific, but yeah. Definitely noteworthy. Also noteworthy, it's very quiet in the Atlantic, and we've talked about this, El Nino really ramping up, expected for it to be quiet. I read an interesting article today on Substack, because this is my new thing, is Substack.
Love that.
From Michael Lowry, and he writes really cool articles about the tropics. He does check-ins daily about the frequency of July hurricanes, landfalling storms. It's really low. It's less of a chance of a landfalling storm in July than June. June has more landfalling storms.
Where's the wood I'm going to knock on?
I know. As we're going into the July 4th weekend, which is this weekend, happy birthday to my son, there have only been 2 tropical storms and 1 hurricane that have ever made recorded landfall in the U.S. on July 4th. So carry on with your festivities on this 250th birthday of our country. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's a big one. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think we'll continue that streak of no landfalling tropical systems. So that's good this weekend. A lot of people will, of course, be cooking in the heat, which is the big talker of the week. This excessive heat going on for pretty much the eastern half of the country, the Midwest, Northeast, absolutely cooking under this big old bubble of heat. Temperatures well into the 90s, some places touching into the 100 territory, but then you add in this humidity, which I'm sure for you is kind of commonplace with the humidity, but Up here in the Northeast, it's like, okay, this feels like Florida. When you walk out, it feels tropical. You've got dew points in the 60s and 70s up here, which makes it feel even hotter. And that's what so much of the country is dealing with this weekend.
Yeah, and we do deal with it down here, but there's also things like widespread air conditioning down here. And I don't know, you grew up in New England too. Did you grow up with air conditioning? Because I grew up in Connecticut and we did not have air conditioning growing up. We just had those like big box fans just blowing on us in the middle of the night while we were attempting to sleep. So
blowing the hot air around.
Yeah. Your mouth's all dry when you wake up in the morning.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, it is a real concern, though. We make light of it. But I mean, heat is, of course, a huge impact. We talked about this last week on the show because we were talking about the heat in Europe. And several weeks before that, there was another heat wave. So we've touched on it on this show. But we do want to reiterate the importance of just really making sure you're being careful, because heat is a silent killer, if you will. A lot of people think, oh, hurricanes, oh, flooding. But heat is very much a factor in illnesses, death. And when you're talking about a holiday weekend, people are outside. So please just make sure you're taking care of yourself this weekend and drinking. Yeah. I think that was water, right?
Yeah. Well, I was trying to say, like, people are drinking a lot of alcohol this weekend too. So just bear in mind that that's going to dehydrate you. And so even I am just drinking water tonight, trying to stay cool and hydrated.
Yes, that's a big one. Anything else with the heat that stands out to you? I mean, I know you said your husband was asking you why the heat happens sometimes, or?
Yeah, well, he was asking about terms, and we were talking about like different technical terms, and heat dome is one that keeps getting thrown around right now, and I don't know that people fully know what that is. So it's just a big ridge of high pressure. When you think about it, it literally looks like a dome on a weather map, and it's just not really moving too much. It's kind of staying put. And in Europe they dealt with what we call an omega block, which is just like a blocking high pressure. It looks like the Greek letter omega, but these weather patterns kind of set in, and we just get trapped. Certain parts of the country get trapped under this big area of high pressure, kind of trapping that heat. All right, Kerrin, you got something to add to that? I'm sure you do.
No, I think you did great. I mean, because we have people who are here to learn, right? Learn about weather. I guess the only thing I'd add is high pressure is not a common term for everyone, but essentially that means in the atmosphere, the air is sinking toward the ground, toward the earth. And when air sinks like that, it compresses and it warms. And so, the stronger the high, the more we're just cooking, right? It's like a pot of boiling water with a lid. We just cook. And then, like you said, when it doesn't move, that creates these stretches of really hot weather. So that's what we're in to finish the week, but also carrying through the holiday weekend for some people.
Yep.
So I guess I did have something to add. I always do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm thankful for that.
That's why we do this show. Anything else capture your attention this pre-holiday weekend week?
Well, it's not really weather related, but did you see what happened yesterday with those people climbing onto, or earlier this week with those people climbing onto the Empire State Building?
I saw it happen, but I didn't pay attention to what was going on or why. Tell me what are we doing?
Okay, so this couple, they're like daredevil couple. They're, they're big on Instagram, I guess. They decided to like kind of break out there illegally and climb onto the top of the Empire State Building, get engaged, and then climb back down. And it got me wondering about like the lightning rod up there, and like the safety of being up there. For so many reasons, not safe, but like during a storm, what that must be like. And did you know that Empire State Building gets struck by lightning an average of 25 times a year?
No, I mean, that's a good stat. I wonder if they knew that.
That probably not.
If y'all are listening.
Did they check the radar before they went up there?
Very good question. Or the temperature, for that matter. It's a good call. I mean, especially now in July. I know that July is the peak month for lightning and lightning fatalities. So careful when you're out there, whatever you're doing this weekend. Whether you're on the Empire State Building or just out on the lake, when thunder roars, go indoors. There's your safety tip for the weekend.
When thunder roars, go indoors, and turn around, don't drown, because flash flooding also an issue. But Kerrin, we are at 10 minutes, and I think we packed a lot in this week, and happy July 4th.
Happy July 4th. Stay safe, everyone, and stay hydrated and cool, please.
Yes. All right, we will see you back here next week.